My answers are not the one size fits all realistically what your routine can be. I feel like if I'm running on fumes by the end of the week, it's just not worth it. Being the same person that I was a year ago, because I still struggle with this all the time, but maybe that will change when my kids are out of the house, but as of right now, that's just how it is. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm gonna be doing another sit down mom thoughts series. I think this is my third one of these videos, but this time, instead of just doing like things that are on my mind, I'm gonna do things that are on my mind, and I'm also going to be answering some questions that I asked on Instagram. So if you sent me a question on Instagram, thank you so much. I actually got way more than I thought I was going to. Thought I was only gonna get like 2, but I ended up getting like 10. So I'll just like pick my favorite ones and then I will answer them as we go. And quickly before I start, I wanna say that if you have any answers to these questions that say they're different than my answers and they don't really vibe with what you would do, you should answer them also below, because there might be another mom out there that's like, okay, I don't really agree or vibe with Liz's answer, but then they go in the comments and they're like, okay, wait, I actually would do that instead of what Liz would do. So you could help another mom out there by answering these questions as well. So with that being said, if you think you could benefit from this video, then keep on watching. So the first question that I'm gonna get is from Instagram, and how do you have the energy to maintain a social life? And I don't think I really do have a super big social life. Maybe I'm not saying this right, but when I recharge, I don't wanna go hang out with friends. Like for me, recharging from the week is like being by myself. And I feel like the older and older I get, the more kids I have, that the introvert in me is coming out way more than the extrovert side. So hanging out with friends or family like once a week, twice is like a lot for me. I have to really like you if I see you more than 2 times a week. But when it comes to the energy to maintain a social life, I feel like if I'm running on fumes by the end of the week, it's just not worth it, because I would rather recharge and be by myself or be with Max and then just call it good. I don't think everyone's built like that, but I am. That's just kind of my vibe. The older and older I get, the more introverted I'm getting. And maybe that will change when my kids are out of the house, but as of right now, that's just how it is. And my favorite way to recharge is, like I said, being just alone time, whether that's taking a super, super long, where I'm like, Max, I just can't. And I just need a moment. I need an hour to myself. Can you take the kids somewhere? Like the other day on Saturday, he was gonna go play basketball with his friends. And I was like, can you just please take the kids with you? And he's like, yeah, no problem. So he took the kids for like 3 hours, and I just sat by myself on my bed. I read a book. I worked on some YouTube stuff. I took a super, super long hot shower, and I did a hair mask. I feel like I did something else. Oh, I scrolled on my phone looking for meal ideas on Pinterest, and that right there was a great, great recharge for my brain and for my sanity. So yeah, favorite way to recharge, alone time. Just, I don't know if it's because I'm a mom, but just not being touched by kids or by my husband. I just want that nice alone time to myself. Okay, this is a question that I came up with, is how to deal with mom guilt. Mom guilt is something that I feel like is natural, and everyone's going to have mom guilt. And it's just one of those things where it doesn't even have to come from like an outside source. It doesn't even have to come from like friends and family or social media or whatever it is. It can come from yourself. Like you yourself can give yourself mom guilt. So what my answer is you just have to ignore it. And you have to, the second you understand it's happening, whether it's coming from someone else, coming from social media, coming from yourself, you have to just say no, and ignore it. If you are trying your hardest to be a good mom, then there's no reason you should have mom guilt. That's my opinion on that, is if you are truly trying your hardest, there's no reason that you should give in to these mom guilt feelings. And as soon as they happen, you need to be like, back off, not today, Satan, no. But unfortunately, everyone's gonna have it. Doesn't matter if you stay off social media, doesn't matter if you don't talk to your family, your friends, you could give yourself mom guilt, like I'm saying. So now I'm just repeating myself, but just ignore it. just ignore it the best you can. Okay, and then somebody asked me this question on Instagram. They said, do you ever feel like you're falling short? And the answer is yes, every single day. It's every single day I will lay my head on my pillow and I think, I didn't play enough with my kids today. I didn't make the best meals. I didn't clean the house as I thought I was going to. I didn't feel like did I show Max enough attention today? Did I ignore him? Because I tend to do that. It's like I'm always at the end of the day just spiraling out of control. So yeah, the answer is yeah, I always feel like I'm failing. I think everyone always feels like they're failing as a parent, right? I feel like every parent out there has at least felt this one time in their life that they're falling short. Because raising kids is a big deal. So of course you're gonna feel like you're failing. It's just I've always struggled with this. Maybe, I know not everyone does, but I do feel like a lot of people do always feel like they're falling short in one aspect of their life. I don't really have an answer of how to fix that because I still struggle with this all the time. But if the question is, do you ever feel like you're falling short? Yes, a big yes. But it's up to me to try to have the confidence and to see myself the way that my Heavenly Father sees myself, which is greater than what I am. I always want to be growing and changing and learning. I never want to be stagnant. That's like a fear of mine, is being the same person that I was a year ago. But you do have to be, I feel like you do have to be happy with yourself, but always changing and growing and learning. So give yourself the thumbs up and be motivating and encouraging yourself and recognize those times that you are doing really good, but don't be stagnant. Keep on moving, keep on trying to be better. And yes. All right, another question from Instagram was, what fun activities do you plan for your kids? Great question. Because it is super, super hot outside, the main activities we do have to do with water, because that's basically all you can do outside right now in the summer in Arizona is just play with water. Cal got a ton of water balloons from his grandma for Christmas, so we're gonna be definitely playing with those. He got a ton of them, and they're like the self-tying ones. So water. Go on Pinterest, look up water activities for your kids. There's tons of them, tons of sensory activities, and you don't even have to have a fancy sensory table. Just get 2 bins at the dollar store or at Walmart. You can find a ton of fun water activities for your kids on Pinterest. We also do have a water table, so I will put a lot of like the sensory stuff into the water table because that will make it easier as well. When it comes to activities indoors, I still feel like my kids are too young to be playing by themselves with like markers and crayons, because they always end up drawing on the table or on the walls or places they're not supposed to. So when it comes to stuff inside, I do just do the regular sensory stuff. I made a whole video on my sensory bins that I made. We're still going through those that I made like a couple months ago. And then I'm always searching more on Pinterest. So I can put my Pinterest down below, and I can put a couple boards that I've made with some great ideas. I love the messy ones, but I also love the non-messy ones, because the messy ones, I do have to be there in the same room at least, especially with Cal. Scotty is doing so much better. He can be trusted now. Cal, not so much. So there's messy ones and non-messy ones, and non-messy ones are great. You don't have to be over them, and you can also do things while they're doing that. Okay, another question somebody asked was, how do you set a routine for yourself? Great question. I would say start slow and start with one thing at a time, but then also you need to evaluate where you are with your life. Like I have said in other videos, times and seasons. So do you have a newborn baby right now? Or are you in a time where you feel like you can set a really good schedule? So first, I would evaluate that to see like realistically what your routine can be, and then I would go from there. So with routines, you have like wake up times, sleep times, nap times. So sleep, and then you have like meals, and then you have time for your kids, time for yourself, time for you and your husband, time for you and God. Like there are tons of little things that can go into your routine, But first, evaluate where you are in life, what's realistic, and then what is most important in your routine. What's most important to you? Is it getting your self-care in right now? Or is it getting like some good healthy meals on the table for you and your family? What is the most important thing to you right now that's gonna help you? And then I just go from there. And then the last one is, how do you find time for yourself? Great question. I don't want to be too repetitive because I have already made a whole video on self-care, so I'll link that below. But basically, if you want just like a one-worded answer, you have to make the time for yourself. I kind of don't believe when people are like, oh, I don't have enough time in the day. You do, in my opinion, you do. You just have to figure out what is the main priority, and you need to delete stuff, bring stuff in with your time, because 24 hours in a day is enough time to get all the things done that are needed priorities to be done. So are you like me, where you have actually ended up scrolling on your phone for 2 hours and then you're like, oh crap, I didn't even realize how fast the time was going. So you stop scrolling for 2 hours and then bam, you have 2 more hours in the day that you didn't have before because you were scrolling. So make the time, my friend. If you don't have any sort of like routine, I would take a couple days to write down it's kind of like when you start trying to eat better. You just write down everything that you eat in the day, and then after a couple days you can look at it and you're like, oh, I didn't realize that I was actually eating better or actually worse than I thought I was, blah, blah, blah. Do that with your day. Write everything out that you do throughout the day for a couple days, and then you can see, okay, I can take off this, I need to move this, I can do this, stuff like that. So make the time for yourself, my friend, because it's very important. And I will stop talking because you just need to go watch my self-care video, because I feel like I went in pretty good in depth about this topic. Again, if you have any different answers than my answers today, my answers are not the one size fits all. Every person's gonna be different. So please, I would love to start a conversation with other moms in the comments below. So if you would like to answer the questions yourself down in the comments so that other moms can see them, and if they don't feel like they vibed with my answers, or they don't even like my answers, but they might like your answers. So make sure to leave a comment and thumbs up if you liked it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.